Back in 2014, a full year before we even made it to any of the Republican or Democratic presidential debates that started in the summer of 2015. In 2014, Pap and I did a segment where we discussed the fact that the 2016 election, at that time, based on polling data, was most likely going to be Clinton versus Bush. Jeb Bush, of course. And before we got to the debates in the summer of 2015, Jeb Bush kind of had it on lockdown. He had the name recognition. He had the experience of 8 years of Florida's governor. His brother had been president. His dad had been president. You know, the Bush family was starting to become like the Kennedy family. Everybody thought it was going to be Jeb Bush. And then when he officially got on that national stage, he crapped out harder and faster than any of us could have ever predicted. And I tell you that story to talk about this story, because the exact same thing is happening right now to Ron DeSantis. A year ago, I'm not even going to say a year ago, 4 months ago, it was widely assumed, based on polling data, that Ron DeSantis was going to be the 2024 Republican presidential nominee. He was neck and neck in the polling with Donald Trump. He had just come off of a massive re-election victory where he beat his Democratic opponent, former Republican Charlie Crist, by 20 percentage points, 1.5 million more votes, the largest margin that we have seen in a Florida statewide election in decades. Like, DeSantis had his mandate. He was moving on up. Early polls in Iowa and New Hampshire at one point showed DeSantis beating Trump. So everybody thought it was going to be DeSantis. And right now, DeSantis is crashing and burning even faster than Jeb Bush did. He is the new Jeb Bush, right? We're probably just days away from watching DeSantis on a video saying, "Please clap." Like, that's where we're at. We all saw the weird little bobblehead video he just did on his overseas trip, making him look like a total moron. This guy is terrible. Not just as our governor here in Florida, because the Republicans still love him, right? DeSantis is in no danger here in Florida, neither is the Republican Party, unfortunately. But nationwide, DeSantis, his poll numbers are dying. He is being attacked by MAGA Republicans who are showing up and disrupting his nationwide book signing tour, making that into a complete and total joke. His donors have announced in the last week that we're kind of done with this guy. We hate his culture war nonsense. We're done. Moderate Republicans are coming out saying we're not going to mess with this guy anymore because he doesn't know how to speak. He's awkward and weird, and maybe he eats pudding with his fingers. We don't know for sure. But that ad that the Trump group put out was pretty disgusting, and it turned us off of him. So DeSantis has no real audience, no real base within the Republican Party. The MAGA freaks love Donald Trump, and they hate Ron DeSantis now. So even if DeSantis somehow secured the Republican nomination, he would lose the entire MAGA base, which means he would not win the election. He's not attracting any new voters to the Republican Party, which is a good indication he would not win the general election. And all of this is exactly what I've been saying for at least a year now. That once you put this man on stage, like literally on a debate stage, you are going to see how painfully awkward he is. You are going to see how painfully stupid he is. Because he is not smart. He knows how to play the political game. He knows how to con people, sure. But he doesn't know how to think on his feet. He is not quick-witted. He is not fast. And on that debate stage, if you pause, if you stop and stutter for even just a moment, Donald Trump is going to jump in and bludgeon you. Chris Christie will jump in and bludgeon you. I mean, listen to this quote from Chris Christie just this past weekend. He said, talking about Ron DeSantis, "That's not the guy I want sitting across from President Xi or sitting across from Putin and trying to resolve what's happening in Ukraine if you can't see around a corner Bob Iger created for you." So he's basically saying, like, this guy can't even stand up to Disney properly. How's he going to stand up to Putin? And honestly, I think that's a pretty good point. Chris Christie, as much of a jackass as he is and as much of a horrible governor of New Jersey as he is, he's kind of pretty good with the one-liners. I mean, that guy did end Marco Rubio's, presidential ambitions, and he could do the same to Ron DeSantis. So could Trump. So could literally anybody else on that stage because Ron DeSantis is so bad. And I'm glad that the entire country, possibly because of that clip earlier this week, the entire world is waking up to the fact that DeSantis is not ready for prime time and likely never will be.
This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.